Welcome in to another episode of Foreigner Loves
Filipino.
It's just past 6 in the morning, and Melanie and I slip out our cozy Airbnb. We're buzzing with excitement, thinking this will be just another waterfall adventure, like the dozen we chased before on our travels through the Philippines. Nothing too crazy, or so we thought. The plan is straightforward. Meet our guide Ryan by 7 at the trailhead of Aw-Asen Falls. We load up our car with our gear, and we hit the road, chatting about what the day might hold. This is exactly the type of place that kind of gets my blood flowing. It's kind of an out-of-the-way, beautiful place. We drove up here last night to make sure we knew where we were going. We're meeting a guide up here at 7 in the morning, and just driving up here got me going and excited about what today has. Well, we're just hoping we don't get too much rain. It's back here in the mountains, and it's a falls that you just see very little about on YouTube, and that always kind of gets me excited to find these places that are so gorgeous, but not widely known. Little did we know, this journey was about to unfold into something much deeper, a mere reflecting the twists and turns of our own love story. The road up the mountain starts out gently enough, a smooth winding path through sleepy villages and rolling hills. But soon, oh man, it transformed into something far beyond what we expected. A beast of a climb that tests every ounce of our resolve. 7 miles, that's all it is on the map, but it stretches into 40 grueling minutes of pure adrenaline. 40 minutes of narrow switchbacks that hug the hillside, steep inclines that make the engine whine and protest, and blind corners carved right into the edge of the mountain. And to top it off, it's raining. At times a gentle drizzle, at others a steady downpour. Our little rental car scrapes bottom more times than I can count. Every turn, every sheer drop off makes our stomachs twist into knots. Melanie grips the camera tightly at first, trying to film, but her hands start to tremble as the road gets narrower, the cliff steeper. Eventually she lowers it and says softly, almost in a whisper, "I can't." And I can't blame her. She's scared, and honestly, so am I. Saw that fucking mountain. Jesus Christ.
Well, this is your choice.
I wanted adventure, we got it. I've always loved adventure. I crave it. But this road, this relentless climb, it's testing both of us in ways we didn't anticipate. There are moments when we almost turn around, moments when we question whether any view, any waterfalls, could possibly be worth the heart-pounding stress. But something keeps us moving forward. This drive with its slips and scares remind me so much of the early days of our relationship. Those cultural differences that seemed like insurmountable cliffs. Me, an American, and Melanie, a provincial Filipina. We had to navigate them carefully, learning each other's worlds one step at a time, just like these switchbacks. And the 3 long years of long-distance relationship, that was our endless climb, separated by oceans and time zones, holding on through video calls and delayed flights, wondering if we'd ever make it to the top. Not to mention our 30-year age gap, which brought its own blind corners, societal judgments, and family doubts. But like this road, we kept going, gripping tighter, trusting that the view at the end would make every struggle worthwhile. We finally arrive at the trailhead, heart still racing from the drive, and meet Ryan, our guide. He's lived his entire life on this mountain. To him, this road, these cliffs, are home. Nothing unusual. All right,
Oh my God.
so what do you think?
Going up here is stressful.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, we'll talk more about it at the end of this trip. Like, just driving here was way more eventful than I thought. I mean, it's a hell of a scary drive to get up here.
But I can see that it's beautiful here.
Yeah. Oh, this must be where we pay our fees. Before we start the hike, we pay our entrance fee, 50 pesos per person, a bargain for the wonders ahead. and the guide fee of 1,500 pesos for the day. Well worth the expertise Ryan brings. We swing our packs over our shoulders and step forward. We're ready, or at least as ready as we're ever going to be. The trail begins gently, winding through rice terraces that spill down the valley in endless shades of green. Like a living tapestry, the stress from the drive melts away with each step, replaced by a sense of wonder. These terraces are mesmerizing, lush, symmetrical, alive with the rhythm of nature. Farmers bend low in the paddies, their hands working the soil. It's peaceful, timeless, a world untouched by the rush of modern life. Melanie absolutely shines here. She smiles wide, laughs freely, chats easily with the farmers in Tagalog, bridging connections with her warmth and curiosity, while I stumble behind her, slipping in the mud, just trying to keep my footing, heart pounding as I try to keep pace, my breath in short bursts from the altitude. It's moments like these that highlight how we complement each other. Her pulling me into the cultural depths I might otherwise miss, just as I encourage her to embrace adventures beyond her comfort zone. We cross two old suspension bridges, steel cables gently roaring over the Amburayan River below. The water rages brown and wild from the recent rains, raw, untamed. These bridges feel like metaphors for the bridges Melanie and I have built in our relationship, spanning the gaps of culture, distance, and age. Then, all of a sudden, the terraces end. The light fades as we push deeper. We step into the jungle, a whole new world of challenges. The canopy swallows the sun overhead. We pass workers carving a new concrete path through the jungle. Their labor will make this trail more accessible. Future travelers will have it easier than we do, walking on solid ground where we slip and slide. And as we climb higher, pushing through the undergrowth, the jungle doesn't make it easy. And then the sound builds. A low, thunderous rumble ahead, growing louder with every step. We round a corner, and there it is, Aw-Asen Falls. Our holy shit moment, a phrase that escapes both our lips in sheer, breathless awe.
Holy shit, man. Talk about worth it. This right here was the holy shit moment when we got here. Right, babe? It's like, yes. You got here, you're like, what the hell?
Hundreds of feet of water pouring over the cliff in a majestic cascade. Mist swirling through the air like a living fog. We stand there, frozen, smiling uncontrollably, feeling more alive than ever. The struggle, the fear from the drive, the slips on the trail, the climb through the jungle, it all led us here, to this breathtaking pinnacle. But just imagine if we'd stopped, if that terrifying road had broken us, if the mud, the rain, the exhaustion had won. We would have missed this, all of this, the roar that shakes your chest, the mist that kisses your face. We would have lost the laughter, the photos, and the memory that will live in our hearts forever. And the same is true of love. If we had given up on our love, we would have lost everything that came after. All the blessings, the deep soul-filling blessings, would have stayed hidden on the top of the mountain we refused to climb. This is what life teaches us. The climb is always worth it, no matter how daunting. We begin descending carefully to the famous Overlook facing the falls, putting on our raincoats along the way. The mist hits our face like a refreshing rain, cooling the sweat from our brows. The wind roars so loud it feels like the mountain itself is speaking. We laugh harder, our voice is barely audible over the thunder of the water.
What do you think, babe? Was it worth the effort to get here? Wow. Yeah, it's not, actually not raining. It's just the mist from the falls.
We pose for a photo, drenched and exhilarated, arms around each other in triumph. The struggle to get here, every scrape in the road, every fear in the jungle, suddenly all forgotten. We head down further to the river's edge. We stop for lunch. It feels earned. Every bite is a reward. The falls towers above us, raw, powerful, humbling in its majesty. Even my drone struggles to approach the falls against the wind, but I push it higher, above the spray and mist, capturing footage that reveals the full scale of this wonder. Because sometimes you have to rise above the storm to see the beauty clearly, to appreciate how far you've come. Then comes the moment I've dreaded, the hike back out, the return journey that flips the script. This is the part that tests me to my core. Melanie bounds up the mountain effortlessly, her steps light and sure, while I lag behind, heart pounding like a drum, legs burning with fatigue, lungs gasping for air in the thin mountain mist. This is where our 30-year age gap becomes undeniable. She's in her prime, energized by the adventure, while I feel every year holding me back. But she doesn't leave me behind. She waits patiently at the turns, encourages me with gentle words, smiles as if to say, "You've got this. We're in it together." I pull her into these wild adventures, dreaming up trips like this one. She encourages me through the struggles. That's how love works. We balance each other like counterweights on those suspension bridges. Whether it's climbing a literal mountain or surviving 3 years of long-distance headache with only screens connecting us, or bridging two vastly different cultures, you just keep moving forward, step by step by step, one challenge at a time. And together, you overcome, you emerge stronger. When we finally reach the trailhead, we're drenched from head to toe, exhausted to our bones, but victorious in a way that words can barely capture. We collapse into the car for a moment of respite, but the mountain isn't done with us yet. There's still the descent. The drive down is just as steep, just as dangerous as the way up, but now with gravity pulling us towards those sheer drops. This time we tuck in behind a colorful Jeepney crawling slowly ahead, using it as our pace car to keep it safe. And when we finally reach the valley floor, the road leveling out at last, I pull over to the side, turn off the engine, and just sit there in the quiet, reflecting on it all, the fear that gripped us on the ascent, the laughter that echoed at the falls, the beauty that made every single struggle worth it. It's in these still moments that the parallels become obvious. You know, life, love, marriage, they're all filled with peaks and valleys, just like the mountain today. Moments when the path narrows and the rain pours, making you want to turn around. Moments you doubt you'll make it, when the cultural clashes feel too wide, the distance too vast, the age gap too glaring. But the secret isn't avoiding the climb. It's in keeping faith when the road gets steep, and holding hands through the blind corners. There will be times you feel lost in the jungle of uncertainties, times you're afraid of what's around the next bend, but just keep going. Keep climbing, one deliberate step after another. So if you're watching this and walking through your own valley right now, whether it's the heartache of divorce, the exhaustion of a long career, or the tensions fraying from your own relationship, don't give up. Keep climbing. Push through the rain, the slips, the fears that threaten to pull you back. Because the view from your own Aw-Asen Falls, that breathtaking aw-shit moment when everything clicks into place, will make every ounce of struggle worth it. Second chances aren't handed out. They're earned through perseverance, forged in the struggle of the climb. Melanie and I will never forget today. It will be etched into our hearts like the jungle path on the side of that mountain. If this story of love, adventure, and perseverance inspired you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share your own climbs and triumph in the comments. We'd love to hear how you're overcoming your struggles. Join us for more adventures across the Philippines, where love, courage, and persistence meet the wild beauty of the world. Because anything worth having is always worth the climb.